Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So recently, yesterday, Kabam got banned from Twitch for a day for breaking the TOS. And obviously that has caused a bit of glee in the community. It's like, Kabam submitting a ticket to get a ban reversed, how the tables have turned, Because I think a bit of it is, a bit childish, a bit of it is what internet is going to do and troll you around, and a bit of it is kind of like just a little bit of karmic justice. However, in light of that, I think I have seen just about the worst possible reply to that, because at this point, I genuinely start to believe that Kabam can't help themselves, but to somehow find themselves to be more right or more morally virtuous and look at themselves as above the common folk, as above the player base, as in like they see themselves as these benevolent do-gooders that are making everything work and are great, and we are the ungrateful swine somewhere below that should be absolutely happy and thankful. And this attitude is kind of starting to slip more and more. We had the stream with Kabam Vincent, effectively saying, people should go and touch grass, or people, or they have the honor of dealing with the best of humanity has to offer in the Discord. And that is a nasty, nasty elitist attitude to have if they truly do embody it. And obviously there's an argument to say, it's like, oh, they were just messing around, they were not being serious. But at the same time, these slip-ups are kind of consistent with the general tone many of these employees at times use, and especially when they tend to act in a spontaneous manner. And what do I think about it? It's like, if they are going to do something that is completely scripted, you will see the fake smiles, the absolute, fake enthusiasm, the energy of how everything's great. But the moments, for instance, in that stream where they just had to kill a bit of time and go off script and didn't have anything planned for it, they just started, kind of like going back and forth with each other. And that type of thing slipped. There's also several Kabam employees who have presence on YouTube. And for instance, when they do these streams and somebody goes in that stream and challenges them, they quite often, turn quite sour and nasty and elitist and effectively, kind of reveal themselves to have a very antagonistic relationship with the player base, and effectively saying, it's like, oh, you don't know nothing, I'm always right. And basically that is the impression a specific handful of Kabam employees do give away whenever they are confronted with interactions with the community. And this is kind of like one of those things that does appear to be a reply that's made by Kabam Dork, not necessarily in line with, okay, so I have a cool, calm head and I'm going to reply kind of like factual, explain it, because you can first of all smell the sarcasm and out of this post, and it definitely was a spontaneous emotional post. And, none of us operate at their best when we're angry or when we haven't had time to kind of collect ourselves completely. So I do want to put that out there, and I don't necessarily want this to encourage like a lot of hate towards Kabam Dork at all. On a personal level, I have never had an issue with him, and I want to make that clear. But at the same time, I do want to talk about what is written here and how it comes across, because I don't necessarily think Kabam Dork is like that. I do think this is just one of the moments that he doesn't come across well, because we all have those. It's very easy to make a very generalized kind of assumption of who and how that person is when you look at, the worst bits, the bad bits, the slip-ups. But at the same time, it is telling, and it does show a problem. So, one of the posts here, in regards of the Kabam Twitch ban, that happened yesterday, was, low-key forcing players to watch for 12 hours just for some reward seemed a bit sadistic to me anyways. It's not a flattering post. It's not a great post necessarily. It's not something I would post, but, I do think that 12-hour ask was quite a lot. But the reply to it is just abysmal. low-key doing an event for 15 hours but only requiring 12 to get full rewards when our normal live streams with much less valuable content are usually an hour but require 40 minutes for full rewards, definitely sadistic stuff, especially with the increased value in terms of the longer you watch. So first things first, when you reply somebody with the exact phrasing they used, it almost always sarcasm. We all have had these situations when, you say something and somebody corrects you and they go like, actually, that is wrong. And then you go like, well, actually, and then you kind of play it up. That's always a snide, snarky kind of like sassy kind of reply. And whilst we don't hear the tone Dave's speaking because this is written, you can absolutely imagine it being in this kind of like sassy, snarky voice, because that is how it's always used. And that's why this post starts off quite horribly, to be honest. And then moving forward, I also think it kind of loses its point, because if they're talking about 15 hours, but only requiring 12 to get full rewards, we can look at it from two perspectives. Number one, as a percentage of the total stream time. Number two, as a real life commitment. So if we take a look at it, and if the regular stream is usually an hour but requires 45 minutes, that would equate to 75% of the stream. If this is 15 hours but requires 12 hours, that equates to 80% of the stream. So even on a percentile basis, the 12-hour requirement was more than it is generally on any casual stream for the rewards. And then there's the second point of, there's more rewards and it's only 12 hours over the course of 2 days. 12 hours is a lot. It genuinely is. Pending where you live, pending when the stream starts. If the stream starts at like 2 a.m. for you and you wake up and it's basically done and dusted, it's virtually impossible for you to do the watching live then, and let alone 12 hours of it. It would be hard for you to watch 2 hours or 3 hours over the course of a weekend, let alone 12, right? And they kind of present it at only 12 hours over the course of 2 days. That is a lot. Now again, admittedly, like I also basically just switched on the Twitch stream and kind of went to bed. But still, though, it is not a small thing. When you think about the total amount of time over the weekend, it's basically dedicating a significant portion of your weekend to watching this or being like aware of it. So again, even from like a real life standpoint, it is a huge and significant difference of 45 minutes over 2 days. Or 12 hours. It obviously is. And it is no small ask. But moving on. You see, we originally only ever gave the rewards for people who watched live and live only. We pivoted for you all, again, capitalizing the you. We didn't have to set up restreaming, but we did, because y'all asked for it. So, let's kind of cut it further. None of us asked for Twitch drops, for instance. Many players still hate them and don't like them. They want the promo codes back, right? This could have also been a promo code. So they are pretending that this is what the players wanted, and it isn't. Because the players didn't want the Twitch drops in the first place. They're effectively putting the onus on the community. It's like, basically, we got banned off Twitch because y'all wanted, the restreams and stuff like that. It's like, no. It's like, nope. Just no. That's a lie. That's gaslighting. Because players didn't want the Twitch drops in the first place. Players always and will forever want the promo codes because it's much easier for them. From a player standpoint, Twitch drops are significantly bigger hassle than the promo codes are. Not only you need to actually watch and sit by the Twitch or make sure that you have the view time there, but also you have to have your Twitch account linked with your Kabam account, which is still a technical issue that a lot of people are asking, which doesn't always necessarily work perfectly, and it's just not what the players have wanted. The restream thing seemed kind of like a bit of a compromise where effectively Kabam gets what they want and keep using Twitch drops over the promo codes, but there is a bit of leeway for the players. So no, this is what Kabam wanted, not what the players wanted. And again, that is a lie. That's gaslighting. That's bullshit. And there you have it. Kabam wants the Twitch drops in order to increase their engagement, in order to increase their viewership. Because again, Kabam's Twitch account is Kabam's Twitch account. It isn't Marvel Console Champion's Twitch account. It is something that they have potentially built that they can use in the future, but they want as well. And it is probably something that they can use in order to negotiate with advertisers, or not advertisers, but negotiate with companies, and kind of to show how much people they can get in live and how big of a sway it is. And it is more than definitely not for the benefit of their players. Kabam building up their Twitch audience and increasing their Twitch viewership numbers is not for us. It's not for the benefit of the players. And most certainly, Kabam distributing these items via Twitch drops is 100% not for the players. It is for them. Because again, everything and anything in those Twitch drops could have been a promo code. So there you have it. And it is just a god-awful post. Because number one, it makes very little sense to me as to the point that he's trying to make here, saying like only 12 hours, but and 45 minutes. Again, because in percentile basis and in the real life commitment, 12 hours is more than the regular 45 minutes than it usually is. Again, the language in this is appalling for a professional, in my opinion, and you should not, go at players like that, but fine. And lastly, much of this post is just bullshit, lying, and gaslighting. Kind of what they did with Spider-Woman. And it's such a bad look, man. It really is. And again, I don't want to kind of like have a massive dig at the person who made this post. I don't have a personal issue with Kabam Dork. But I do think this is one of the dumbest things he or just about anybody from Kabam could have replied here and said. Because again, first of all, it's illogical. Second of all, it's full with shitty attitude. And lastly, it's on top of shitty attitude and lack of logic and math, it's also a flat out lie and gaslighting. It's like they're effectively trying to position themselves like where they broke Twitch's terms of service for you. And they got banned for you. So they are the good guys and you are the bad guys. It's bullshit. And now that we have had one face of the community, one host of the Summoners Brawl, bullshit to you about Spider-Woman like a month and a bit ago, and the other one bullshit to you about Twitch ban, you are kind of forced to come to the conclusion that they don't see themselves in the mirror. They must have the pink glasses on where they think that they are hot shit and everything that they do is right and justified and good. And there has been very little to no accountability or semblance of guilt or some sort of self-reflection that maybe you fucked up. It's like, maybe it's your fault. Which is part of the reason why I feel the game's going where it's going. Because they are incapable of kind of facing reality and admitting things to themselves when they do wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about